Hey, this is CitrusDruidxCDx, and I want to talk about junglers in the LCS, like the jungle champions. I don't know, I just wanted to rant about it for some reason. I just don't like the picks that LCS picks. Like, I understand why they do it, but like, it's a team focused game, like a team fight focused game. I know that you can snowball and win your lead by doing that, and I know there's like poke comps and stuff. Like, I'm not like new to the league. Like I played this game for like 3 years, but I haven't watched LCS like religiously like other people do. But like I don't really like some of the champions like Elise and Nidalee. I feel like they're really bad at team fights. They kind of just throw their cocoons or their Nidalee spears and hope to get a pick. Like they're one to get a pick. Like that's all they're needing to do. But it's sometimes you're not gonna get that pick. You're gonna have a 5v5 situation. Obviously, sometimes there's 4v5s or 3v2s or something like that. Like, but these picks, they just don't feel right. They're like squishy. They don't do a lot of damage, and mostly because they'll build like runic echoes, and then I think most Nidalees go Rod of Ages afterwards, and then they'll start building tank. Sometimes they'll build damage, but they feel really squishy even with these tank items because they're not a tank champion. Like Gragas, he skills off AP, but he feels like a tank champion, if that makes sense. Like he body slams for that stun, but that stun doesn't only stun one person, it can stun multiple people if he hits multiple people. But Elise's cocoon, that hits one person. Nidalee spear hits one person. Gragas can slow multiple targets with one Q. That's not the only jungler that I'm thinking like is the best for like team fight skirmishes. I'm thinking like Rek'Sai and like other people. Like, obviously you're gonna have a different type of team, like where you're gonna have like say you're having a tank top and you bring in a Graves jungle or a Kindred jungle, someone that does damage, but most times they'll have a team comp where it's like they don't have a lot of damage on their team, and they only, like say they protect the ADC or comp, where they just have a Lulu or something else tanky. They just don't really like mesh that well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Just like they don't. Nidalee and Elise do a lot of damage by themselves. They're pick comps. Like they're trying to pick off a person. Or Nidalee is mostly poke comp. Like if you had a Ezreal or something else on your team, just like trying to poke them down with a Varus mid or something. But Nidalee's not good at team fights, and it's a team fight focused game, and Elise is not good at team fights either. In my personal eye, I do not see them as a good team fighter. Like, what do? Like, there's a little spider that crawls around that does no damage. Like, it literally feels like a tickle to a tank. Like, yeah, maybe to an ADC it'll do a little damage, but it will not like one shot the person. And I don't know, just like her Q, like talk about Elise here, but her Q just like, you throw a little thing at a person, it does like no damage. Like, yes, you can like jump onto people and like turn into spider form and jump onto people, and then like you know, like use your auto attacks and your Q, but like it literally during late game it feels like you do no damage. Like Elise looks like that. I don't play Elise personally, but I used to play. I played her a little bit, but then I was like, she's too squishy, doesn't do a lot of damage. Me personally, I play Udyr. I know Udyr is not like great in the LCS. He has been played a couple times. My league's like going off, but yeah, like I play Udyr mainly. He's been played a little bit in the LCS. He's actually was played like 3 times on CLG. I think it was either 3 or 2. And I think he did like astonishingly better than what Elise or a Nidalee could have done. I don't know what he played against. I think he played against a Gragas a couple times. Gragas is a good pick. I do think he's like a rock solid pick. Same with Rek'Sai. I don't personally play Rek'Sai. I play Gragas. I do not personally play Rek'Sai, but I think Rek'Sai is a really good like team fight skirmisher. He has knockups. He has like his Q. Like most people go Cinderhawk on a Rek'Sai, and you could still go Warrior on him too. But I feel like the AD item is like really bad on all ADs people right now. I feel like they need a new AD item for like at least only melees. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me. Make it have the active of not Titanic, but the item that builds into Titanic. Like just I can't remember the item right now, but yeah, like I feel like AD like melee ADs are not really good right now, and AP is really strong right now. That's why they're playing Nidalee and Elise a lot, because Runic Echoes is a really good item, but that's why Udyr is being played a couple times in the LCS, because that item is broken. It's literally stupid. It has a proc that does 100 damage, also with like 60 AP, I think that's what it was. I'm just going off the top of my head here. I'm not looking at anything, but yeah, same with Poppy. I don't understand why Poppy jungle would be a thing. I was looking at the charts and I saw that that was played. I was like, Poppy jungle sounds like it's garbage. Probably go Cinderhawk. But obviously, it all depends on what your team comp is. But I just feel like Nidalee and Elise is like, I don't know, it's just like it's all about the early game for them. But if you get to that late game, they're useless in my eye. Like they do no damage. They just poke. They can get somebody off guard. Like it's highly unlikely though. The stun is the only thing Elise has gotten as her kit that is going to help out in a team fight situation. She has no damage. Personally, I feel like she just jumps on people. She has to be in auto attack range in spider form to do a damage, because in her human form she does like literally no damage to a tank at least, and maybe to a ADC. I mostly see her like jumping on tanks. That's why I'm saying this. But yeah, same with Nidalee. Nidalee is really good early game. She can take over enemy jungle all the time just by jumping over walls, which is a stupid broken kit. It's all about her early game, for her like ganking potential, her taking over the enemy jungle, like I was saying. But yeah, also was weird in LCK. They played Rumble jungle a couple times. I think it came over to the LCS, which his clear times are good. He has a good team fight potential with his ultimate, so I do feel like he is a good jungler per se. His ganking potential, I don't know if his ganking potential is great, but he does have a good team fight potential. But yeah, like obviously I haven't talked about like junglers that are not played in the LCS, like Rengar and stuff. Rengar was played once in the LCS, but they played him Cinderhawk. I just feel like AD junglers are really bad right now, just like melees, not like Graves. Graves is like demolishes people, like he can destroy people. Like I know he got nerfed, but he still does a lot of damage, just with his ultimate and his Q. Everything else is like, yeah, who cares about the W? I mean, W does blind you for like 2 seconds and you can walk out of it unless you're stunned in it, but it's not like it's always gonna happen like that. I just feel like Runic Echoes is really broken right now. That's why they're mostly playing AP junglers in the LCS right now. Like they're like, usually you would make Gragas a Cinderhawk jungler, but they're like, this item is so good for clears and for damage, why not take this item? So like tank junglers are just kind of disappearing in the LCS. Like I haven't seen Rek'Sai played in forever. Like, I mean, he's played a couple times, but I don't know. I wanted to put this out here. Like, I just feel like those two junglers, nidalee and Elise mainly, I feel like they don't get me wrong, they do good in the early game. Late game, when team fights come around, they sit around and do nothing. I look at the team fight, I'm like, what are they doing? Like, you know, like, are they contributing? Kind of like what Bard does. Bard just kind of sits around, throws Qs a couple times, hopefully gets a stun. If his ultimate's down, he's useless. He's pretty much to get people around the map and heal them up. I don't know, Bard's a funny pick too, but I'm not talking about supports here. I'm talking about junglers, and I don't know. They played also in the LCK. I know I'm rambling, but that's what I'm doing right now. But also in the LCK, they played Kindred with what's the Devour, which I also thought that was weird. I was like, they played it like 2 times. I didn't watch all the LCS games, but I saw like two games with Kindred Devour. I'm just like, if you can go Kindred Devour, why can't you bring in another jungler that is also good with Devour? Like, there's so much more potential in League of Legends, in LCS, and LCK if you bring in other junglers or other meta picks that are still good, like that are good in solo queue. That's what for CLG they were like, why did you bring out the Pantheon, which was the top laner at the time, and they were like, I feel like this is good in solo queue, so why can't I bring it out on stage in the LCS? Which I feel the same way with junglers. Like, Udyr has been played a couple times. I'm not saying he's the only one. Oh, same with Lee Sin. I should have talked about him. I did put him in my notes, but Lee Sin is also another early game jungler. He does a little bit of damage with his with Warrior, but some people build him Citric Hawk. I guess you could say he's a good team fight potential if you get a good insect. Like, I saw one with C9. They still lost that game, but they did get a really good insect onto CLG's ADC. I forgot his name. He's not very memorable because their whole team is really good. But like, you got a good insect on him. But that was like the only good play that he did. His early game, I think, was good. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but that's what I'm saying. Like, Gragas, really good team fighter. Like, he has an ultimate that blows people away, like kind of like a Janna ultimate, where it just like gets everybody away from, like, if you need to peel for your ADC, you can knock them back, stun them with your E, Q to slow them, and W to do damage. It just makes no sense to me why you're playing a Nidalee that throws spears at people. Yes, you can heal your teammate by a little bit. It's not that. Sorry about that. My headset turned off. But yeah, if you max it, the heal, I guess it would be all right. But I don't know. Just I wanted to talk about this, and I feel like other junglers would be better right now. Just bring out something new, you know. I mean, you don't have to bring in Kha'Zix or like Rengar again. Like, they brought out Rengar, but they didn't make him an assassin. You don't have to bring in an assassin. You just bring in more tank junglers or something. I don't know, just something that's better in team fights. Like, I guess it's always all about the early game for the LCS, so they can get their early lead. But it's a team fight game. It's always going to end up being a team fight, even if it's under a tower. They just want to poke people to death, I guess, with their stupid E for the stuns and Nidalee spears, and I don't think it's a good team comp for that. I don't know, it's dumb. Bring in a Diana. If you want an assassin, there you go. There's Diana. I haven't seen her play, so I don't know. Just rambling now. Yeah, so all I'm saying is bring more variety. I don't like these, they just don't do anything for team fights. Bring Jax or something. I don't know. Something. Gragas is fine though. I like Gragas. I don't know. He does a lot to it for the team fights. All right, I'm done rambling. Let's guys. Remember, I say words and such, mostly just words. I'll see you guys in the next video.